Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my honor to be with you today. It's a day for me when I remember I lost my first man on the field of battle 52 years ago. So if I get a little emotional, bear with me. For our World War II guys, thank you very much for your service. You put your footsteps in the sand, handed me the flag, as well as other veterans, so that we could carry on to keep this great country free. God bless you. For the families of the Gold Star, bless you. You can rest in peace, knowing that your loved ones did what they did best, what they wanted to do. They sacrificed their lives for their great country. It's a great day to remember. And I'm so proud to have my lovely daughter here with me today. And I don't know how these 16-year-olds are going to do down the road, but my twin granddaughters, Brooke and Brandy, and thank you for coming up. It's wonderful to see your faces. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I had the honor to serve this great country in peacetime and in combat. I served with some of the greatest men I've ever known. They came from various backgrounds, religions, and race. They came together as a team, regardless of their backgrounds. They suspended their life's dreams and ambitions to serve in the armed forces. Those young men that I served with quickly became hardened combat veterans. They patched their wounded. They cried and they prayed together. They carried the bodies of their dead friends, and with a heavy heart, they wrote letters home to the families, telling them about the loss of the loved ones. These men never quit. They never gave up. Some would suffer physical and mental scars. They would live with that the rest of their life. However, if you was to ask them, would you serve again? They would say, hell yes, let's get it on. And such was the strength of the bond, not only with the men that I served with, but also all veterans. These gentlemen in this beautiful uniform, I don't know what you're drinking, but I want to know, because if you're 104 years old, 100 years old, I want to have some of that. You do wonderful. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, that if you ask a veteran, especially a combat veteran, what was it like in combat? Was it painful? They would say the pain of their memories are mild compared to the pain they are witnessing today about what is happening inside this great country of ours. Awareness of the cost of freedom is on the decline, not only among our fellow Americans, but the politicians. They don't get it. I get it. Combat veterans get it. Let's not forget what this great country stands for. You know, Veterans Day, Memorial Day comes and goes quietly, with little fanfare or recognition. The veterans have certain ideas within their own minds about themselves, about their God and their country, and especially their country. I'm reminded of a veteran that I love so dearly, who is no longer with me. Webster Anderson. In 1967, October, he was serving in Vietnam. He was in charge of a group of men in a howitzer position when he was being overrun by a large North Vietnamese enemy force. 2 grenades landed at his feet, shattering both legs. The explosion knocked him to the ground. Webster would not give up. He crawled to the edge of the parapet, and he told his men, "Let's give them hell." While he was lying there on the ground, another grenade fell between him and his men. Webster picked that grenade up and attempted to throw it clear of his men. It shattered his arm. Gravely wounded and in great pain, Webster was evacuated from the battlefield. A few years later, he was awarded the Medal of Honor for saving his men. And Webster one time, and I'll never forget, in Oklahoma City, was talking to a group of students. And one of the students, after Webster talked to them a while, said, "Mr. Anderson, knowing what you know now, you're going to lose your arm and 2 legs. Would you do the same thing?" Webster stood up in his wheelchair with his one hand, and he said, "Young man, I would do it again in a split second." Those kids will never forget Webster Anderson. Webster epitomizes the ideals that are embodied in this wonderful medal that he wore: courage, sacrifice, selflessness, others before self. I could just see Webster today looking down, and he said, "Jim, tell it right. Tell it like it was." And I did. Ladies and gentlemen, Webster Anderson, great America. So today, as we pause and we give thanks, let's always hold our veterans in the highest esteem. And let's give them the dignity and the respect they deserve. Let's honor their devotion to each other, their families, and their friends. And of course, this great nation of ours. May they never be forgotten. May they never be forsaken. And let's remember them every day of the year, not just on Veterans Day or Memorial Day. If you see a veteran, stop him or her and say, "Thank you for this great country, for your sacrifices." God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Safe travels home. I'll see you down the road.